Children, now in this video we are going to discuss about the book back question. That is question number 44, balancing the following equation by oxidation number method. Okay, see, once if a question given like this, you all know first what will be the step. See here, you have to calculate the oxidation number, and after that you have to find which one is the oxidation and which one is the reduction. The next step you have to go for the balancing, and at the last step only you have to balance the hydrogen and the oxygen atom. This will be the procedure, right? See, now here I have calculated the oxidation number for this K2Cr2O7, that is nothing but potassium dichromate. Okay, see here you all know this potassium, that is K, comes under the alkali metal. So the alkali metal will have +1 oxidation state, whereas the alkaline earth metal will have +2 oxidation state. See here this potassium comes under alkali metal, so only here 1, and here chromium 2. So that only we are going to find. So simply we are keeping as X. So 2 atoms. So simply 2X plus 7 into oxygen will be -2. Here no charge or anything. So simply that will be equal to 0. Like this you have to write. So now 2 into 1 is simply 2, and here 2X minus 14. So totally we get X will be equal to +6. So this chromium will have the oxidation state of +6. And then next come chromium sulfate. See here also this chromium I am keeping as X. So now 2X, and now here this sulfate is a whole compound. So simply is considered to be a single compound. So simply one sulfate will have -2 oxidation state. So simply sulfate will have the oxidation state of -2. So here 3 sulfate are there, so it is multiplied by 3, which will be equal to 0. So simply on simplifying we get X will be equal to +3. So now chromium will have the oxidation state of +3, and next will be the potassium iodide. See here this potassium iodide, that is Ki, in the reactant side. Here also the same, the potassium comes under alkali metal, so only +1 oxidation state, so that we get X will be equal to -1. So here potassium will be +1, and this iodine will have the oxidation state of -1. So like this you have to first calculate the oxidation state. Okay, then after that you have to go for the which is the oxidation and which will be the reduction reaction. See here I have written the first step. This is the question that gave. See here this potassium sulfate, potassium iodide on reaction with sulfuric acid, we get potassium sulfate, chromium sulfate, iodine, and then water molecule formation. Okay, see now this K2Cr2O7, in this chromium will have +6 oxidation state, iodine is -1, and here +3 for this chromium, and 0 because in elementary state their oxidation state is equal to 0. Okay, see here when we check for the oxidation and reduction, here +6 to +3. What happened? Their oxidation number gets decreases. So which means it is said to be a reduction reaction, and now this reduction, it leads to the gain of 3 electrons. Okay, and here next step will be the -1 to 0. So it is increases by 1. So simply it is said to be an oxidation. Here you see 2 moles of iodine, but here in this side we are having only 1 iodine. So only what we are doing is that I have multiplied this 1 by 2. So simply we get 1 into 2, 2, right? And here their oxidation number will get increases by 1 unit. So now we'll move on to the next step. See here, the detailed form of writing the oxidation and the reduction reaction is simply, see here, this Ki, from this Ki, this iodine will have -1 oxidation state, and in the product, that is I2, will have the oxidation state of 0, right? Here this is said to be a oxidation. So oxidation means loss of electron. So how many electron gets lost? 1 electron. That only I have written here. 1 electron gets lost. Here you see 2 iodine are there in the product side. To balance it, I am going to multiply it with 2. So which means this gets balanced. So this is said to be an oxidation reaction. Okay. So now here you see only 1 electron. Okay, loss of 1 electron. So simply we can write, we didn't, in the product side we didn't multiply anything with, here only 1 iodine. So simply 1. So the iodine will have only 1 electron. Whereas if we check for the reduction, here you see in this potassium dichromate, here you see Cr2O7. This part will undergo, that is, it gets oxidizes to, it is a reduction reaction, it gets reduces to chromium, Cr3+. See here, this chromium, from this chromium sulfate, this chromium will have only 1 mole, whereas in the reactant side 2 chromium are there. To balance it, I am going to multiply it with 2. Okay, so here there will be a gain of 3 electron. So 3 electron gets gained, right? That only I am writing here. So 3 electron gain. Along with that, we have multiplied in the product side by this 2. Okay. So now what I am going to do is that I am going to multiply the same with 2. So which means totally I will get 6 electron. You understood how this comes? See here we have to check for their electron differences, and after that we have to count for the balancing. Okay. So now we'll move on to the next step. See, in the next step, we have to balance that is simply we have to crisscross the compound. So now this potassium dichromate will have 6, that should be cross multiplied with this Ki, and now for this Ki we have get only 1. So that 1 we have to cross multiplied with this potassium dichromate. So which means we get 1 K2Cr2O7 with that 6 Ki plus H2SO4. Remaining we have to write as such. Okay. So now we have to balance this potassium, chromium, iodine. See here in the reactant side we have 6 iodine, whereas in the product side only 2 iodine. So simply I am going to multiply it with 3. So which means we get 6 iodine. That gets balanced. So now potassium also will get balanced. 2 potassium, and here you see 2 potassium. Okay. And now we have to check for the remaining in the next step. See here K2Cr2O7 plus 6 Ki H2SO4. Here you see in the reactant side here 2K, whereas here 6K. So totally we get 8 potassium in the reactant side, whereas in the product side we are having only 2 in the previous step. So to balance it, I am going to multiply it with 4, so that I will get 8 here. So both the side potassium will get balanced, iodine also get balanced. So next step we have to check for this sulfur and then oxygen. So while balancing you have to check individually. You are not supposed to count as total. Okay. So individually we have to count for the sulfur and then oxygen. So now to balance this oxygen and hydrogen, H2O and then H2SO4 should be multiplied by 7. Simply you check here H2SO4 in this 2 hydrogen, whereas here in the product side also 2 hydrogen. So hydrogen gets balanced. If you check for the sulfur, here in the reactant side 1 sulfur, whereas in the product side here you see 4 sulfur and here 3 sulfur. So 7 sulfur. Okay. So like that you have to check individual atom. So now after that, if you multiply it with 7, we have to check for the lowest possible number and then you have to choose the relevant number. So if I put 2, 3, 4, that won't get balanced because both the sides we have to count for the even term. Okay, that is evenly we have to balance. So here 14 hydrogen. So in the product also 14 hydrogen. So now if we check for the all those things, these all the elements, we get a completely balanced reaction. Okay, so like this you have to balance the given reaction, right? So now we'll move on to the second question. Potassium permanganate with sodium sulfate and then MnO2 manganese sulfate and then Na2SO4 KOH. So here also we have to first calculate the oxidation number. Here the oxidation number for this manganese I am keeping as X. Potassium you all know it is an alkali metal, so +1 oxidation state. Oxygen -2. So totally we have the manganese in +7 oxidation state. And now Na2SO3, here in this the sulfur will have the oxidation state of +4. Okay, so now if you are going to calculate for this sodium, we all know the sodium comes under alkali metal, so only +1 oxidation state. So like this individually we have to go. Suppose if it is enclosed in bracket, this SO3 is enclosed in bracket, then by the time you have to consider it as a single compound. Okay. See in the next step, next will be the MnO2. Here this will have the oxidation state of +4. That is this manganese will have the oxidation state of +4. Okay. See now we'll go for the first step. Here also the same. We have to calculate which will be the oxidation and which will be the reduction reaction here. Okay. See now this KMnO4 Na2SO3. I have written all the calculated oxidation number and then now we have to find out which will be the oxidation and then which will be the reduction. Here you see in the manganese +7 to +4. Here it get decreases by 3 electron. So which means we get reduction reaction there, whereas in sodium, that is this Na2, both the side it get increases by 2. From +4 to +6 it get increases by 2. So it is said to be a oxidation reaction. Here also we have to count as we did in the previous step. We have to write the individual oxidation reaction and then individual reduction reaction. Then we have to balance the relevant atom and we have to find the electron differences, right? So that we get, here you see now in the second step you all know we have to crisscross the electron so that we get this KMnO4 will have 3 electron difference and this Na2SO3 will have 2 electron difference. So which means this 2 cross multiplied with this KMnO4 and here this 3 cross multiplied with this Na2SO3. You understood? So now in the next step, in this step I have written they cross multiply. So 2 KMnO4, 3 Na2SO3, that leads to give 2 MnO2, because here in the reactant side 2 manganese, so that only I have written here. The second step, after cross multiply we have to check for the oxidized and reduced term whether it get balanced or not. Okay, so now in the third step we have to balance the potassium, that is KOH, which is multiplied by 2. So now you see 2 KMnO4 and then 3 Na2SO3, 2 MnO2, here you see 3. So now if I multiply this with 2, because here you see there will be the lackage of 2 KMnO4, because 2 potassium from this KMnO4 on comparing with that, so that I have multiplied here with a suitable number 2. Okay. So in the last step we have to balance the hydrogen atom by adding H2O on the reactant side, because in the question itself they have given some clue, that is alkaline medium. So it's an alkaline medium means there will be the presence of OH group. So we all know OH means is simply the addition of water molecule. So sometimes acidic, like that also they will give. So the acidic is simply the addition of H plus. So now 2 KMnO4, this 3 Na2SO3. So when we add water, we get the balanced reaction at the last step. So now we'll check for the all the element. Here in the reactant side 2K, in the product side also 2K, and now manganese, 2 manganese, here also 2 manganese, that gets balanced. Oxygen you see 2 into 4, 8 oxygen, and here 3 into 3, 9 oxygen plus 1. So now 18 oxygen in the reactant side, that we have to count for the product also. 2 into 2, 4 oxygen, 4 into 3, 12, 12 plus 4, 16, plus 2 into 1, 2. So totally 18 oxygen. So oxygen also gets balanced. So now sodium 3 into 2, 6, here also 6. So sodium also gets balanced. Now sulfur. So here 1 sulfur, here also 1 sulfur. Hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, here also 2 into 1, 2 hydrogen. So the reaction gets balanced.